Welcome back to 12 Days of Podmas. What day are we on today? Oh my goodness. This is where I need to start counting. We're on day 4. Which means it's Saturday. Happy Saturday, cutes. I just had the best Saturday nap. Who has a Saturday nap? Anybody out there? I'm such a napper and I look forward to Saturday nap like nothing else in my life. Rowie doesn't nap at school anymore and she totally still could. So like I feel like every single day when I pick her up, like 80% of the time she falls asleep on the way home. And every so often, she'll want to have a nap after school, which is like we try to avoid that because it pushes bedtime, it throws everything off. But sometimes she's just so tired and she'll end up having like an hour nap. And it's like, no. But on Saturday, I feel like she has the most juicy, delicious, like lovely nap because she's just like so excited and exhausted from her week of busyness. And I always participate as well. And I just love it. But I always feel like I wake up like so disoriented, especially this time of year. Like in the summertime or the warmer months when we have that afternoon nap, it's like you wake up, it's like 3 o'clock. You're so excited. You have the rest of your beautiful day. We'll like run out of me in the pool or we'll go to a park. You still have so much time like left in the day. It almost feels like you're rejuvenated for the rest of your day. Where I feel like the winter nap, it's like a mind switch at first and then once you embrace it, you embrace it. But it's like you wake up and you're like, it's so dark. It's starting to get dark. Oh my gosh. Like I'm so confused. Um, what am I gonna do? What's the rest of the day ahead? But it's been so lovely now that I'm like switching my mind over to um that. It's more like, okay, we'll have a slow dinner on Saturday. Or oh yeah. And Saturday, sorry, I just got so confused for a second. I was like, wait. Um, but Saturday or Sunday, Trevor and Ro will go to we'll end up going and doing something in the afternoon, usually after the weekend naps, with some of the neighbor kids, and that's fun. And then I'm able to have some of my own time. So it's like when I wake up from the nap, it's like, ooh, what am I going to do? Am I going to catch up on some shows? Am I going to record the podcast, get some work, whatever? I really am looking for a book to read over this holiday time. The last thing I read was Lessons in Chemistry, and I think it would be nice afternoon to wake up from your nap and just enjoy a book by the fire. Oh, and the Christmas tree. That would be so nice. So if anyone has any book recommendations, something light, something fun. I've recently done a memoir and I've done Lessons in Chemistry, which I guess would be considered like a romance. And so yeah, something within that. I don't know if I maybe a memoir. A memoir is always fun. I do love a memoir. I feel so educated after, but maybe like a winter cozy, a winter romance. You let me know. Give me some book recs. I'm looking for something to read to keep me comfy in those dark weekend afternoons. But that being said, that's going to lead to this week's episode or this week. Oh my gosh. It's not this week. It's this day since we're doing 12 episodes leading up to Christmas. But that leads me into, I guess, the title of this episode or like the theme is we are talking all about the holiday bucket list. I always try, and a bucket list I feel like is such a big word, and it got popular. I feel like wasn't there a movie called Bucket List or whatever? And bucket list is kind of like your goals to do before your life ends, and like it's kind of like this huge thing. But I kind of like to break it up if you've been a long time follower, by season or like time period of my life. And just so I can be more intentional with my time. So today we're going to talk about what I'm being intentional about and um, wanting to set forward and complete or get done or participate in this holiday season. I'm also drinking something other than water. Ooh, it's also kind of making me really hot. Mm. I got a piece. Okay, it's a clove. I'm having clove tea. So if you haven't had clove tea, mm, you're missing out. I actually saw a TikTok on it. I'm going to put this over here. I actually saw a TikTok on it, and it was someone saying how clove tea is like the ultimate healer of, I think mainly colds and stuff like that. Like if you feel yourself getting sick, if you drink clove tea and then after, um, what you do is you chew on one of the cloves and then spit it out. It like helps to, I don't know, get your immune system working or whatever. And honestly, every time since we were all passing back and forth all those colds for like an entire month, I'm like so on the ball. So the second I like feel my throat drying or I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's a little sore, whatever, it's like middle of the afternoon, I'm like, I like make myself a clove tea. And now it's kind of just become, it's actually so delicious. It tastes like kind of Christmas in a cup. I made it for Trevor today because he said his throat was hurting. Send us positive vibes, cute. Send us positive vibes. But Trevor actually didn't get sick for the majority of us all passing sicknesses. Like I feel like he did at the very beginning, but then he was pretty much feeling good the entire time, which is like amazing. Um, but I really hope that he doesn't get sick now, and I really hope it doesn't start a whole nother pass it around. So everyone send the positive vibes to Trevor. But I did make him a clove tea, or I taught him how to make it. And so basically, all you do is 6 cloves, which you just get whole cloves. You can get them anywhere at your grocery store, bulk barn, whatever. And you put 5 to 6 in a cup, and then you just put your boiling water on top and you let it steep for 15 minutes. And then it is just delicious. You have it on your own, like without anything in it, and it's sweet. It tastes like Christmas. It's like a spicy taste. Trevor was comparing it to, he was like, "Ooh, it's kind of chai-esque," which I'm honestly not a huge chai cutie, but maybe I do like chai. I don't know if I've ever had like true chai. Not that this would be true chai, but true chai in the sense that it's like not a syrup. It's like made with the spices. Mm. There is this tea shop that used to be local to us, but I feel like it's only online now, and I'm not sure like where they run out of. But it's called the Apothecary or something, and they have this tea blend called a sticky chai, and it always sounds so delicious. Just like sticky chai, like it sounds like I don't know, just like a warm hug. But like I've always been hesitant because I'm not a big chai cutie. But now I'm like, maybe I do like chai, so I got to give it a try. But anyways, so that's how you make clove tea. And then when you get to the end, you just take one of the cloves and you chew on it, and it's so spicy, like not like hot spicy, but like spicy, like spices, cinnamon and stuff. But clove. And it definitely is like, ooh, but it's not that bad. And the TikTok, it said to chew on it for a minute. I find that really hard because it like disintegrates. So I just chew on it until I really can't chew on it anymore. It actually, and then you just rinse out your mouth. It actually leaves your mouth feeling so fresh. It's like, I'm really not a gum girl anymore. I used to love gum and now I really don't like it. Like there's something about, if I like am desperate to need something or I need some saliva or something in my throat, like then I'll have a piece of gum, but I always regret it. Like I really don't enjoy gum anymore. And so um this is almost like 10 times better if you want like a mouth freshener. And I was reading through the comments on that TikTok, and everyone was saying that cloves are like incredibly good for oral health and hygiene. And like if you have like a toothache or something like that, I don't know, like obviously it's not a fix all, but it can be really helpful. And so I do feel like that could be true. And if you remember, I'm not sure, I think I've talked about this a few times, but I never got my wisdom teeth out. And I think I only have 3 wisdom teeth, but the ones on the bottom grew in so weird. They like fused to my other molars. So now I have like this mega jumbo molar, and it's way less frequent now. I'm going to the dentist more and keeping up with like good mouth hygiene, which I feel like I always have, oral hygiene, which I feel like I always have, but now I know how to specifically like avoid the flare ups. Um, because it's like if something gets stuck in the back behind my molars. Anyways, long story short is that now I'm going to say it's every 6 months. It used to be more frequent than that, but every 6 months or so, I really get a bad ache. And it's at the point where I can't really get my wisdom teeth out because they fused to my back molars. So it's like a really big and dangerous surgery. And it involves like a whole bunch of things that like if I could avoid it, it's better. That's what my dentist says. So, anyways, I'm now like, ooh, when I get those flare ups, like I used to just take Advil and um, lay low and try to like work through the couple days that I would have that pain. But now I'm like, ooh, next time that happens, I'm gonna try chewing on a clove to see what happens. Like, I make a clove tea and just see if it helps because I'm interested. I'm intrigued. But, anyways, I am drinking a delicious clove tea in my Christmas mug. Mm. And Alabee's joined us today. Hi, Alice. Aw, you kind of can't see her because I'm wearing my uniform, my black leggings and red shirt or red sweater. But Alabee's sitting here on our lap if you're watching on YouTube. Such a cutie. We're having cozy vibes today. But I have just had a really, really lovely day. And I can't wait to get into it because I feel like a lot of the bucket list items we've been checking off this weekend, and I'm excited to talk on them, but also to talk about what I'm looking forward to for the rest of the season. Okay, I got to put this tea down or else I'm going to be boiling. Boiling. Now that I have a hot dog on me. Hot dog, I dig it, the dog. Bo, 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 bo. What's that? The Mickey Mouse Club. I haven't watched the Mickey Mouse Club in so long because that is, oh, I guess it's on Disney Plus. I was trying to think like, but I don't know if I was a big Mickey Mouse Club girly. Anyways, the holiday bucket list, my holiday bucket list. Number one item we actually just did this morning, and it was so lovely. And it was our first year doing it as a family of three, but even me and Trevor and haven't done it for our place. We did it once before for my mom's house, like long ago, but we have not done it for us. We've always gone the artificial route. And I guess you can guess what that is. It's cut down a tree. So we have always had an artificial tree when we were in the condo because I don't think you're allowed to have, at least our condo, a real tree. Um, fire house, fire hazard probably. And also, I wonder how. Actually, I don't even know if that's the main reason. I'm just thinking now. I wonder how they would discard of fake or real trees because here, like if you're in a house, you can just put it out at your curb for whatever, like the couple garbage days past Christmas. They usually have like specific Christmas tree pickup. But yeah, in a condo, I don't think they'd want a Christmas tree in the garbage room. There's not really like a place to put it, and that would be annoying to have to like take all the Christmas trees out. That's probably the reason is they don't want to have to worry about the discarding of it because I feel like there's lots more things that are fire hazards for condos that aren't Christmas trees like candles. Anyways, so we've always had an artificial Christmas tree. We moved to this house with our artificial Christmas tree that I still have the like price on the box. It was like $30 or something. It was not expensive and it was great for our condo. And once we got to the house, it was like I knew I wanted a little bit bigger, not a huge Christmas tree. And our space isn't like our living space isn't that much more extravagant in the sense of height or anything, but I just knew that the tree felt a little small. Alabee, sorry if you hear licking. I just knew that the tree felt a little bit small. And so our first year here, I was like, oh, I'm going to look into what kind of trees there are. And I was like humbled quickly, but I realized how expensive they are. Oh, our dog visitor is wanting to leave. Bye bye. Bye, sis. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to spend like $300+ on a Christmas tree. And I just feel like I'm not in the right place to even commit to that. And what if I want to get a real tree down the line? Because we always had fake and real trees growing up. I feel like we had fake for a long time, and then I put forward that we should start getting real trees, and then we had real trees um for like years, and then I think I went away to school and my mom got a fake tree because that was just easier for her. mm. So I was like, oh gosh, I just spilt tea on my foot. I went to put my cup down and I was like, oh no, something just fell on me, and then it was like, oh, it's hot water. But anyways, so I was like, I'm just not in the mood to commit to this much to a tree, blah, 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 blah. I also didn't know where I want the tree in our house to be. Like I assumed the living room because that's like our main floor. We'd see it most times. But I also thought there was a good spot in our like rec room, which is in the basement. It was just a whole thing and I was not ready. So we've just been using our tree from our condo, which worked out perfectly fine. And then last year we put it up, and I was kind of like, you know what? I Next year we're getting a real tree. Like, I just want to get a real tree, experience it once at least. We'll see if we like it, and then we can move forward. We still have our fake tree. It's somewhere. It's in the shed or whatever. So this year was the year we went to get our real tree. And so every time I've had a real tree in the past, I've always had just like a normal real tree. I don't know what normal means, but like it looks the same. It's just a classic Christmas tree, like a triangle shape, classic dark green, evergreen. I don't know the names of all the trees, but just classic. And I kind of had this idea that like I was like, I want something different. I want something unique and interesting, like not necessarily Charlie Brown, like small and like sad looking, but like something a little different. So we went to go look for Christmas trees and Christmas tree farms, and it's like, oh, there's like no Christmas tree farms around us, or they're all sold out. Like there's like some Christmas tree shortage this year or something. Anyways, Trevor ended up booking in at this place where you could do um hourly, like you could book an hour chunk and you only can get one Christmas tree, and they all cost the same amount of money, I think. So we didn't know what to expect. But anyways, so we went and it was so lovely. And I feel like it is 100% like now ingrained in our traditions moving forward. Like I loved that experience. We haven't decorated the tree yet. It's just downstairs. Um we put it up and now it's just resting because I want it to come up to room temp and get get acclimated before we start decorating it. But I love it. I love that we got something unique. I have no idea what it is. The fur of some sort. We tried to look it up using Google, like, or some app that we downloaded to take a picture of it, but like it said that it was like so many different types of fur. So I was like, okay, it's for sure fur, but it's so fun looking, it's so different, and it definitely is a real tree. Like, it just looks like a real tree, and I'm just so excited about it. So, if this season of tree goes well, if I'm able to keep it alive until Christmas and I'm not annoyed by it, it's not falling down. We got like a very sturdy tree stand. We had a big debate. There was like one for $50 that seemed to be like the best one, and then there was ones that were like $10 cheaper all the way down to like 20 or $15. And I was like, you know what, I think we should just I thought really hard that it shouldn't just go into the side of the tree. You should screw something into the tree and then put it in the base, and that's what we went for. And I was like, we might as well just spend a little bit more this year than have to like come back, buy more stands or whatever. So anyways, hopefully all is groovy and this can become part of a tradition. But I'm so excited. We had such a great experience, and apparently this place is like a hobbyist farm. Totally, it's just a family and their property, and I think they said they plant 1,000 trees a year, and they're only open for 2 weekends. um and they just do time slots where everyone can come and get like each family's allowed to come and have one tree. They're all the same price. There's like so many different sizes. There's huge trees, there's tiny trees, there's every type of different tree. They're all just like around on this front lawn of like this obviously like farm type property. So it's a big front lawn. And you get your tree and then you pop it in your car. We bought bungees because we weren't sure if we'd need to put it on top of our car, but we were able to fit it in our car. So we put it in our car on a tarp. And then they have a little hot chocolate shack, and you grab a hot chocolate and a candy cane, and it's like all included in the price of this tree. And you sit by the fire. It's so lovely. They had a little toy basket for Ro to pick out a treat. Like it was just so lovely. And you could tell it was just like a family doing family business in their like yard. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And this was the last weekend. So I said to Trevor, I was like, we need to mark down in our calendar like these 2 weekends, or at least the previous weekend, so we look into it and don't miss the opportunity, because it was just all over. Like it just felt good. It was so good. And every tree farm I've ever been to growing up, um, or with Trevor, that one time we went, like they're quite a business. Like you go and it's busy, and it's like definitely like there's like the the farm store, like classic. You go, there's the farm store with the ornaments, there's all the different trees, every row is a different price, every size a different price. They'll stand it for you there. Um, they'll stick it through the machine that wraps it up. Uh, and then you can like go and enjoy hot chocolate if you want to buy that or whatever. And like there's tractor rides. It's like a whole experience, right? But it's busy, and it's expensive. Like this was $80, I think, for whatever tree size you wanted. So, and they had huge trees. I was saying to Trevor, his parents used to always get a really huge real tree, but it's always been like kind of a havoc of keeping it up. It falls over and whatever. So they've they don't get as big anymore. But I was saying, oh, if your parents want to get a big, big tree, they should definitely come here, because um, it's definitely worth your pennies. But it just felt like such a good experience, especially with little kids, well, little Row. And it just felt like good. I really liked it. I really enjoyed myself. So, anyways, My first holiday bucket list is to cut down a tree, and I just had to share that story since we did it today anyways. Um, my second is to cook and bake for joy. Like, I feel like I've always, obviously, cooked and baked for joy. That's been such a big part of my heart and soul my entire life. But now that I've moved into having it as a career and doing it on social media and getting to share my home cooking that way, it's been so amazing. But it also adds that layer of like, work. And so I really wanna focus this holiday season, which is why we're doing the recipe of the day, which I know, like, seems like, "Oh, now that I'm saying that, it's for work," but honestly, it doesn't feel like it because the recipe of the day is literally just me sharing, things that have come into my life that have been a big part of my holiday traditions and holiday seasons, that I've learned from family members and friends alike, that I've taken like each year of my life and that I get to share with you, which really does feel like joy. And it fills our home with so much warmth and delicious smells and deliciousness. And honestly, I wouldn't cook as much as these 12 recipes. I wouldn't cook them all this in one year if I wasn't sharing them for online. And it gives me the opportunity to share more with neighbors and people who we intermingle with and roast school teachers. Like, I just feel like it's definitely opening my heart to more joy this season. So definitely cooking and baking for joy. And I hope that you find something beautiful in our recipes of the day as well that you try out. And there's nothing like slowing down and being in the kitchen. It is one of my absolute favorite activities. And I personally, like, this is my happy place, is when I clean the kitchen first. I love to have a nice clean kitchen, and then I'm always a cooker and cleaner. I never like a big mess after, so I like to take my time in between each task. If I have like if something's in the oven or something needs to rest, then I take that time to load up the dishwasher, wipe down the counter, whatever it is, wash a hand dish, so that at the end it's not like I'm overwhelmed with dishes. And it just is that's immaculate to me. Like having a clean kitchen space that I'm using and loving and caring for, while also creating something delicious to share with my family and friends. Like I really, really love that. And you can put on the Christmas music or listen to a podcast, and it just fills the house with warmth. And we put our tree in a place where I can see it from the kitchen this year, which is so exciting. I had a big debate where we were going to put our tree. Normally, we put it in a corner that you could see from the kitchen if you were like all the way on the one end, which is not where I cook in the kitchen. Um, it's would only be a very specific place, but we have that new, like, old desk that we got gifted from a family friend who was moving and not bringing it with her, and so that's there, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna try it kind of on the other side of our living room," and then I can see it from the kitchen when I'm really cooking, and I do spend a lot of my time in my kitchen, and it is so dreamy. Like, it really does just bring so much magic and warmth into my line of sight while I'm there. So cooking and baking for joy. And I'm trying to once a day just like make something that is purely for joy. Like it has nothing to do necessarily with what we're going to have for dinner, lunch, breakfast, snack, whatever. Like obviously we're going to eat it, but it's just a fun thing to make. And it's bringing me so much happiness. It really, really is. Next up on the list, I want to take Ro for sorry, I just stuttered hard there. For her first ice skating. We don't have outdoor rinks here, I don't think, unless it's like on a pond or the lake when it gets really cold, which won't be now. Honestly, it's been so hot recently. Like it was like 14 yesterday. It was wild. It was like, wait, what? I thought it was wintertime. So funny. I wanted snow so bad for the weekend to go cut down our tree, and it ended up being, I feel like, almost better because we didn't get snow. If it was gonna have to be cold, I would have wanted snow, but it wasn't cold, so it was so nice we didn't have to wear coats. Like perfect. That's one or the other is good for me. But anyways, what I was gonna say was I want to take Ro for her first ice skate. She's never been on skates before, and I almost bought her a pair. Like you can get cheapy pairs for like 30, $20, something like that at Canadian Tire. And I almost bought her a pair last winter because I'm not sure how the rentals work here. And I actually myself was enjoying going skating, like just for recreational purposes. So I was like, oh, maybe it'll be worth it if we just go skating once a week or whatever. But I didn't end up doing it. Life got busy. I don't remember. But this year I'm like, oh, we got to go skating. And since Trevor usually doesn't take holidays off around Christmas time. He never takes his holidays then because, except for obviously like the holidays that are given, because I feel like that's like a life hack. If you work in office life, it's not worth it to take Christmas, the days before or after Christmas off because they're always so quiet anyways. And if I mean like if you work from home, obviously if you have to go into the office, that's more annoying. But if you work from home and it's like no, there's not much to do, like don't waste your holidays on that. But anyways, because he's in a new job now, they actually have set holiday hours. Like they're closed for a week around Christmas time. Nobody's working. So he's going to be off. So it's like, oh, we should all go ice skating together. That would be so fun. And it'd be fun to see Ro um, try out ice skating for the first time. And I think that's just such a classic thing. That was such an integral part of my childhood. But in Toronto, there's so many outdoor skating rinks. Like I can just think of three that were close by to me. And growing up, and we would go skating all the time. That was such a big part of Friday nights and Saturdays. Growing up and just walking over to the ice rink and hitting up the going on skates with your friends, like all the way into high school. Like we would do that. I loved going skating. I wish that that was more here because there's something different about an indoor rink than an outdoor rink. Like, yes, an outdoor rink doesn't get to be open all the time, and it probably wouldn't be open now because it's so warm out. But an indoor rink, I guess, is also nice because it's open year round. But there is a difference. There's something magical about outdoor skating. I guess an indoor one, you also don't get like freezing cold, which is nice. You know what? I'm happy to be in an indoor rink. It's okay. Life's gonna be okay. But on that, I also really want to go skiing. So me and Trevor are skiers. We haven't been skiing since for 4 years. Like it's been a long time because we didn't go skiing the winter that Roe was born of 2020 because I was very pregnant. So we wouldn't have gone skiing that winter. Um and then we haven't gone skiing ever since then, mainly because we moved further away from the ski hills that are close by or that were close by. We used to always go to Blue because when we lived in Toronto, it was just like an hour drive, but now it would be like a whole nother. Actually, it's almost like 3 hours to get to Collingwood from here. It's a long trek. But we do live closer to now Ellicottville, which is just over the border. So we needed to get Row passport, which we finally did last year. And we're all set. And Ro's like at that prime age to go skiing, and she really wants to go. Like last year, we went to Collingwood to visit friends at the end of the winter, and it was a snowy day, and we went over to the hill to get beaver tails. Yum, the best thing ever. Um, and when we were eating our beaver tails, we were watching all the skiers come down, and Ro was like so invested. She wanted to go so bad. And I said, oh, next Christmas we can go. And now she always calls, like, if you say Christmas, she thinks of skiing. So she really wants to go. So I don't, and now that it's so warm, it's like, I don't know if we're going to go over Christmas break. I really hope it cools down because I'd love to go. If not over Christmas break, then for sure, hopefully, a weekend in January. I would really, really, really love to go. Also, it's just fun, like for me and Trev. And it'll be so fun to see Ro hit the hills. Or we can bring my mom so Rowie can take breaks if she wants to and hang out in the ski lounge. Also, the ski lounge is so fun at Ellicottville. So Ellicottville is in um Buffalo, so it's in the US, and it's such a different vibe because everyone like brings their own food. Like when me and Trevor went there last time, it would have been February of 2019, so long ago. We took Trevor's sisters on family day. We went skiing and we had such a blast. But everyone goes to the ski lodge and brings their crock pots. Like everyone has someone who's like guarding their table, and they drop off all their stuff and they plug in their crock pots and they have their bottles of wine. They BYOB, like they bring their own booze. I like that is so foreign to how ski life is, at least that I have ever experienced here. Definitely not bring your own booze. That is not allowed. And I have never really seen anyone bring out a crock pot in the lounge. So I'm just like so excited for that life. Like I keep saying to drive around, like I just want to be the ski mom with her crock pot and her bottle of wine. Like, and my mom would love that too. Like, it just sounds like the type of life that I want to live. So, anyways, that's something I'm really looking forward to. And then honestly, my list is not huge because, as you know, I'm trying to just really embrace the slowdown. And so, one of the biggest things that I love doing is doing all the free fun things that your community has to offer, which is amazing. Like especially here, ever since we moved to Niagara, I feel like there's always free fun stuff going on. And we're so lucky because we live so close to Niagara Falls, which is amazing because one, you can get funnel cakes whenever you want, which is just like my favorite thing ever. You can also like I there's something so fun about Niagara Falls. Like, I feel like some people are like, "Oh, Niagara Falls," but I guess when you live close to it because you can just, like, drop by and drive over whenever you want, like, there's no pressure and you don't need to do everything, but if you, like, all of a sudden are like, "Hey, I wanna play arcade games, or I wanna go karting, or I just wanna, like, do what is it? Haunted houses," like, things like or go find a ride, like, it's all so close. I just think that's so fun, and so those things cost money, but what I was gonna say was that Niagara Falls itself has the lights drive-through. They always decorate in front of the falls so beautifully, and then there's the little light drive-through, which is donation-based. It is free, but, like, it's good to give your donation, and so, I love doing that, and I love doing it on a weeknight because then it's not busy, and we just, like, one day we'll have dinner, and we'll be like, "Hey, why don't we drive over to the falls and go do the drive-through?" And now they're actually doing fireworks at 8 p.m. on the weekends, um, on Friday and Saturday, I think. I'm not sure about Sunday, but for the week of Christmas, I'm pretty sure they're doing it every night. So that's always something fun. Um, you would just have to pay for parking, find some parking, and then you can go see the fireworks and do the lights. And you can actually get out of your car and walk through the lights as well. You don't have to sit. And then they always have, I feel like Coca Cola last year brought Santa. So there's always like a Santa booth somewhere. And it's just fun, free activities. But also, like in our closer community, they have this thing called Let It Go Glow going on that they've been doing for, like, the past 3 winters, I think, and it's so fun. They have light booths all over the place, and they have different activities on different nights going on, and, you can just go and walk around, and we went and did that last night, especially on that warm night. It was, like, literally no jacket, walking around, looking at the Christmas lights. It was very like, "What? What's going on?" But it was the perfect night to do it, and it was so fun, and it's just fun when you can have that magic and obviously not have to spend the money because the holidays can be very much expensive. They can add up when you get into wanting to do lots of different types of things. But yeah, so just like really looking into community events and seeing what's going on, that's so fun. And I did an update for you is I did say in a couple episodes ago that I had joined a running club and joined because I think it's like more of a drop-in thing. I don't know, like you're not signing up for it and you don't have to run. I walk. I feel like I'm one of the only people who walks, but um I did go this weekend, and I said I hadn't been for a while, and me and Ro went this weekend, and we had a wonderful time, and it was in Welland, which I don't think I've ever actually been in Welland before. Like, I've definitely driven through it and stopped maybe at a plaza here or there, but I don't know if I've ever been, like, in downtown Welland, and it was such a lovely trail along the water, and, it was really nice, and we stopped at the Black Sheep Cafe, which I've had Black Sheep coffee. It's very popular in Niagara because it's brewed or roasted here, but it was such a lovely place, and it had board games and coffee and donuts, and Ro loved it. So it was quite the vibe. But yeah, just doing more things like that. And why I brought that up is that is another free activity. So look for those things in your neighborhood. Look for the free activities and the skating, the free skates, all of that stuff. So that's a lot of what we're gonna do, especially now leading into Ro's gonna be on holiday soon, which means that I get to be on full mom mode, which I love full mom mode. I always call it camp mom when Ro's on holiday from school and we just like go hard and do things. Not hard, but like we go out and about. We wake up and we get out of the house and we go do stuff that's fun and find fun adventure. Last year we did lots of Niagara Fall things. Like I took her to the bird aviary, which is such a fun one, and I took her to the butterfly conservatory, which I actually think I have a coupon for the butterfly conservatory, thinking about that. And that's a really good winter one because it's so hot. I find in the summer it's just like too hot because it's like hot in the bird conservatory, but like in the winter it's perfect because it's just like a nice little warm spot to be. So yeah, we'll have to go see the butterflies, but I need to plan things for that. But that's always fun and finding what's going on around the community. And then last but never least is filling my house with love and intention. I'm really trying to focus on being present and just being really intentional with our time, and that doesn't even mean like doing lots of stuff or um making sure that I'm always, like, aware of, like, of being productive or anything like that. It means, like, if I'm being in, like, slowing down and sitting and enjoying the fire and sipping a tea, like, that is I'm being intentional in that. I'm sitting and I'm embracing and I'm thinking and I'm being grateful in that moment, and it's been so warm. It's made our house feel so much more warm for me, and yeah, I'm really trying to just focus on that and bring lots of joy and have dance parties and tickle fights and just like bring the love in, the good vibes, the good spirits. So that's my holiday bucket list, which I am just so excited. And my holiday bucket list is really a winter bucket list. It continues on. But this is like the start for me. In setting those intentions for this time of year when it can be really dark and dreary, and as I said, like waking up from a nap at 3 p.m. and being like, wait, is it nighttime now? And knowing that I'm gonna leave this studio and it's gonna be like 4:30 and I'm gonna be like, wait, it is pitch black outside. But it's not like, oh no, it's the end of my day. It's like, okay, like let's get dinner cooking, let's set the mood with some music. Um, and let's just really enjoy this like slow down period. And I would love to sit and read a book while I do that. So please give me your book recommendations. And I'd also love to know what your holiday bucket list is this year. And is anyone else if you have tips on skiing, well, if you have tips on skiing with a child, I wanted to call her toddler, she's not taller, with a 3-year-old for the first time, let me know. And but I was gonna say skating. I really don't know much about skating. I guess you get those little rods that they hold on to. I'm just excited to see how she takes to it and what it feels like for her. Um, Ro's so fun when it comes to, I mean, I think all kids are when it comes to trying something fun or new. Like, I remember scootering. Our neighbors gave us their old scooter, and it's like she didn't get it, she didn't get it, and then she would just practice, 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 and then all of a sudden she got it and she was, like, obsessed, like, now she tries to do all these little fun tricks and things. It's so cute, but, like, I just love watching the progression, and I love that she, like, never gives up. Uh, even when it's a little frustrating. We have a saying, we say never give up, which I know some people, I had said that to someone and they were like, that's such a bad saying. Like, you should know when to give in. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, you should. You should know whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever. You should do whatever works for you. But I say it to Ro because her and Trevor were racing one day in the summertime, and she was getting so frustrated because every time Trevor got a little bit faster, she would just like totally, she would just drop to the ground and like sulk. She was like, man, I'm never going to win. And then we would just chant like never give up, because I just wanted her to learn that it's okay if you're behind. It's okay as long as you keep trying and you keep participating. Like, that is where your competition lies. It's between yourself. It's not anybody else. Like, don't feel like you're behind if you're physically behind someone, but don't just drop to the ground and fully give up. And then she would stand, and then we would say never give up, and then she would get frustrated, she would fall, and she would cry, and we'd say never give up, and she would stand up, and it's like she would brush herself off and she would run, she'd be like never give up, never give up, and when she gets to the end she feels so proud in herself. So yeah, that's one of our fun things, and that was where we taught her that. But now it's one of those things that's so beautiful for lots of different times in our life when she's feeling frustrated, and it's a phrase that she knows in her head that means like, I can do it. It might take me a little bit longer. I'm just learning. It's okay. Um, and I got this. So, yeah, never give up. But I am just so excited. I'm in a very holiday spirit today, especially with the new Christmas tree. Yee, I can't wait to decorate it. We also got 2 little ornaments to add on that Ro picked out. One was a little porcupine, which is, or like hedgehog thing, which is like favorite. That's like a favorite for me. That's a special animal in my life. And then a foxy. She loves fox things, so she got this little fox. It's so cute. Oh, and we got these little butterfly clips to put on too. So cute. So I can't wait to decorate the tree. But let's get into our recipe of the day. Cutes. This is one of my favorite recipes. It's actually a tasty recipe. Do you remember Tasty? Like those videos that used to play on Facebook? I think my mom had sent it to me, or maybe I saw it and I sent it to my mom. I don't know, but either way, we I made it for the first time. I was living at home. So I feel like it was like when I was like 20, or I feel like it was when I was 20. So maybe like 10 years ago. This is like a classic delicious recipe. and it is such a encompassment of like something that our family like loves so much. So it is called Bangers and Mash in a Blanket. I don't actually know if that was what the title of it was, but I'm gonna call it that. But it's basically like uh sausage, mashed potatoes or smashed potatoes because you well champ technically, so you like have the green onion, whatever. I'm gonna show you the recipe, don't worry, cute. But so it's champ, which is like mashed potatoes but with a little bit more oomph, um, sausage, and it's like all rolled into puff pastry. It is so freaking good. And you can make gravy if you want, but we are like an HP sauce love. So we dip it in HP sauce. But oh my gosh. And I'm so excited to share this recipe. It's super simple. It's so fun. I feel like it's such a classic. We usually make it on Christmas Eve. And it's just one of those things that has carried us like literally. And I don't know how to tell. I actually got a Facebook memory the other day with it in it, and I was like, oh yes, that's the recipe. And I clicked on it because I was like, oh, I want to see who the person who made it was so I can give them credit, but it didn't say. It just said Tasty. So I don't actually know how to look up who. I guess when you work for Tasty you make it through Tasty. I don't know, but anyways, it would just be fun to see like where that person is now. But yeah, so it is so delicious. Go check out TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I'll post it everywhere. It'll be on YouTube as well, 5 years time podcast. And it's super simple. I promise. It's such a good one. It's even just fun to make like for a middle of the afternoon weekend activity. It honestly doesn't even take that long, but it's so good. So we are having bangers and mash in a blanket. And I'd love to know if you have champ in your life, if you know what champ is. Because the champ cuties should unite. That was such a big part of my childhood, having a dad from Northern Ireland. So we love when we have champ whenever it happens. But yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, so that is today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. I can't believe we're already on day 4. I'm like, which day are we on? 4. It feels so long and so short at the same time. Like it's like, what? 4 episodes already? And the fact that there's an episode up on a Saturday. I'm just getting so thrown off, but I'm having so much fun doing it. I put on this uniform after I woke up from my nap. I'm calling it my uniform. I put this on after I woke up from my nap and I was like, oh, I do like love a uniform. I wish I never went to private school or anything like that. So I never had a school uniform or Catholic school. But it's like, I feel like I would have vibed with that. Just add a little bit of something fun if you want to. But other than that, not have to think about what you're going to wear every day. I feel like I would have vibed with that. But anywho's, okay, cutes. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll come back for a really fun episode on our first Sunday of 12 days of Podmas. Love you, love you, love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, cutes.